Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Schnese, and let's talk about Bitcoin Borrow Die. Today I want to talk about some really interesting news that is coming out of Japan and how it has a seismic shift and what we can expect it to happen with Bitcoin and the future of markets. So Japan is currently in the process of reclassifying Bitcoin and about 100 cryptocurrencies from speculative assets under the Payment Services Act to regulated financial products under the Financial Instruments and Exchange Act. This shift aims to integrate digital assets into existing market systems and provide greater regulatory oversight. So this is the main thing where Bitcoin and crypto have been defined and regulated in very unfavorable terms in Japan, and now they're being reclassified to be much more similar to equities and stocks. So the core regulatory pivot here is the status change going from crypto assets to full financial products. And this provides better consumer protection, stricter oversight, more AML, consumer protection, integrity rules, and this allows institutional money and bigger accounts to flow in, especially with greatly improved taxes, which we'll get to in a moment. So the way Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are classified in Japan now, there's basically a 55% capital gains tax or progressive income tax. And with this reclassification, it would be shifted to 20% and to be treated like stocks. And this is a huge deal. This is one of the big things with Metaplanet, where they are an equity, so they get treated under this 20% capital gains rule, but Bitcoin would be treated under this 55%. It's like 45% to 55%, but it's just significantly higher. So with this new reclassification, they would both get treated like 20%. And this move signals Bitcoin is no longer an oddity. It's a core financial asset. It's also kind of like institutional blessing and saying that Bitcoin's on par with equities. And because of this, it's going to unlock a bunch of capital because it's just tax prohibitive before, and now Bitcoin will be treated like any other stock in terms of taxation. It's easier for allocation for fund managers. We should see an uptick in trading volume, and there can be institutional grade clarity. And then for Bitcoin Borrow Die, this helps us because as Bitcoin grows, we should see lower volatility over time, regulated environments, and institutional depth dampens wild swings. So that's great as we just kind of climb our way up to $1 million per coin. And then it's safer borrowing, where if there's fewer swings to the downside, there's less risk of margin calls, and it's easier to maintain leverage over time. Excuse me. And this is kind of looking at that tax reform that we were just talking about, from the 55% to the 20%. This is just huge, and a main reason why it's been hard for people in Japan to really hold and deal with Bitcoin, just because of punitive taxes. And then this, of course, Japan being such a large economy, can have ripple effects. So this is just kind of a expected market inflow mix over the next year or so. About 50% for institutional allocations, about 30% for retail, and then 20% for corporate reserve strategies. And then there could be like an uptick in trading volumes in the first year. And this all should roll out in 2026, where in January already there's been a submission of new framework to the Japanese Parliament. Q1, there's a review and approval, and then we should expect this to go live in April of 2026. And then for Bitcoin borrow die, just the tactical strategy and leveraging the tailwind. Again, you can borrow conservatively and have our collateral appreciate as it continues to grow from global adoption. Legacy compounding, where the adoption reinforces Bitcoin as a multi-generational asset and just a hedge against debt as nations continue to print. So this is really exciting news. Japan is a major economy, has big implications for Metaplanet as well. We should see this start to go in effect in the first half of 2026. Please leave a comment, respond to me if you have any questions, like this video, and I'll see you next week.